Right, I'm here in Prague, and one thing I notice every time I come to this part of Europe, it really stands out to me, is just how peaceful it is and ordered. One thing you don't see that you see in the UK and like so many parts of Europe is these large groups of fighting age males just stood around on street corners with nothing to do. This makes you ask the question, why is it that their asylum system's working and ours is falling apart? Well, the Czech Republic's taken a completely different approach to asylum. Last year, their entire country had just over 1,000 applications, and out of that, only a few dozen were actually granted asylum. So what this means is simple. You just don't get the chaotic scenes over here. You don't get waves of people with no plan, no work, and nowhere to go. You don't get that sense that things are out of control here. They run a tight ship, a disciplined system, and whether you love it or hate it, the results are here for everyone to see just by walking around. Now compare that to the UK asylum system. Totally overwhelmed, totally overstretched. People arriving legally, people disappearing into the system, people waiting years in hotels because the government hasn't processed claims or enforced returns. And the worst part is dividing our entire country. We're seeing communities turning on each other with a level of tension that's simply unsustainable. Well, here's something I strongly believe. Can't throw the baby out with the bathwater in this. The UK is one of the most diverse countries on the planet. You know, in terms of like the modern country that we have now, made up from amazing African communities, amazing Islamic communities, amazing families from all around the world. That's what makes Britain what it is today. So anyone who thinks that it can go back to the 1700s is completely delusional. But we see extremists from both sides, and what they're doing is they're both trying to pull in opposite directions. One wants a complete open border policy and the other one wants to get rid of everyone. You know, and neither way is going to work, is it? And the next thing I'm going to say might shock some of you, but I'm going to say it anyway. That is that I believe Shabana Mahmood might be the right person to sort out the asylum mess in the UK. Why? Because she's one of the few people that can actually take a balanced position without instantly being shut down with slurs of racism and bigotry. She's talking about reforming the system properly, stopping illegal migration, tightening the rules, reviewing refugee status regularly, closing all these loopholes, but also keeping safe and legal routes open for those people who genuinely need our protection. And she's not coming at this from hate. She's coming at it with control, structure, and compassion together, all in one package. And if we want a country that's safe, stable, integrated, and fair, then we need someone with enough nuance to sort this out. Someone who can talk about borders without being accused of racism. Someone who can talk about compassion without being accused of weakness. Because the simple truth is this: Britain can't be Prague, and Prague can't be Britain. Every nation is different, but we need to learn from each other. And we have order and humanity, and we can have that in every country. We can have borders and compassion. We can fix this asylum disaster without tearing apart our social fabric. So by me being here, walking these streets, it reminds me that there's a way to get this right. But only if we stop shouting, stop dividing, and start actually choosing people who can handle this very complex situation. Let me know what you think. Is Shabana Mahmood the right person to fix this? Or do we need a completely different approach? Because whatever we do next, the future of our country depends on it.